Welcome to this Mrs. K's Way video of comparing and ordering integers. So this video is going to be doing three things. We're going to be reviewing the last video that we saw, which was integers on a horizontal number line and their opposites. Then we're going to be talking about comparing integers using inequality symbols, those little alligators, or less than and greater than signs. And then last, we're going to be doing some examples of how to order and compare these integers. Alright, so in our last video, we talked about how we have a horizontal number line and we see 0, and any number to the right is going to be a whole number or positive integers, and any of these tick marks right here represents negative integers or negative numbers. So remember, there can be actually space in between these that represent something different, but each of these whole numbers are represented with those different tick marks. So now I want to talk about what happens if we go to the right. If we're starting from -6, if we're starting at -6 and we keep going to the right, what is happening to each of these different numbers? Well, it's really easy to see from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that every time we are going to the right, our number is increasing. Well, this is also still true going from the negative numbers. Any negative number that's closest to 0 is a larger negative number. So the largest negative number there is -1. And as you go to the right, from -6, -5, and so on, everything is increasing in value. So as we go to the right, we are increasing in values. So take a time right now, really quickly sketch up your horizontal number line like you did from the last video, and then I want you to write this down, showing that arrow going to the right as numbers increase in value as you move to the right. So that's really important for us to know when ordering and comparing. Now, what about as we move to the left? What happens as we start from +5 and we keep moving to the left, or even starting 0 and moving to the left? Well, as we see here, since -1 means like we've lost $1, well, as we go to the left, we lost $2, we lost $3, we lost 4, we lost 5, we lost 6. So the value of the negative is getting smaller because we are losing more money. So as we go from +6 to +5, we're still losing something. Our number is getting smaller. So as we went to the right, we increased. We can imagine as we go left, we decrease our value. So numbers decrease in value as you move to the left. Make sure you write that down as well, because we're going to need it for our next slide. So a lot of times we are comparing integers using some inequality symbols. So let's review about what these inequality symbols mean. We use these two inequality symbols, less than and greater than, when we are trying to explain and compare two different numbers. If we look for less than, we are saying that the number to the left is smaller than the number to the right, which is larger. We know this because we read the inequality sign from left to right. Just like we read in English, we always start to the left. The word less comes before the word than. So anything on the left is smaller than on the right. We've also learned this when we were a little younger about this being the alligator. And the alligator always wants to eat the larger number. So over on the left side here for greater than, we are still going to read it from left to right, but the number on the left happens to be the larger number, and the number on the right is the smaller number. Again, the alligator would be eating the larger number. So when we are comparing integers, we want to be able to use both of these, but we also want to be able to use the number line. So let's say we are comparing the number +4 and the number +8. Now when we are looking here, we can explain it in two ways. 4 compared to 8. Now we can say that 4, since it's the smaller number, is less than 8, which is the larger number, or if we do it the opposite, 4 over on this side is now on the right side and it's the smaller number, so we can say that 8 is greater than 4. No matter which way we put it, if the 8 is on the right or the 8 is on the left, we are seeing that the 8 is still the larger number, which is why the opening to the inequality is facing towards that large number. So let's do some examples. First, let's compare the numbers positive 10 and positive 5. If we were to put these on the number line, we can see that positive 10 is located right here, and positive 5 is located between positive 4 and positive 6, so we can place it right in the middle. When comparing, we want to be able to eat the larger number. Now, as we talked about in our first slide, any number that is to the right of the other number is the larger number. So since 10 is to the right of 5, we know that 10 is greater than 5. Again, that symbol meaning greater than because the left number is greater than the right number. For our second one, we have positive 10 and negative 5. So if we do this, we see that positive 10 is still in the same place, but negative 5 is over here between negative 4 and negative 6. So right between here, we have negative 5. So when we're comparing, again, 10 is all the way to the right, so that means it's the larger number since negative 5 is to the left. We also know that 10 is larger because it is on the right side of 0. So we can say that, again, 10 is greater than negative 5. Now, let's do something a little different. What about negative 10 and positive 5? Well, if we see negative 10 is all the way over here to the left, and positive 5, again, is over here on the right. So even though negative 10, that 10 looks larger, the negative number is on the left side of the number line, which means negative 10 is a smaller value than positive 5. So in this way, we know negative 5 is less than, the value of negative 10 is less than positive 5. And if we still look at these four numbers, we can try to see, what about negative 10 and negative 5? We see negative 10, negative 5. Now, even though above here we saw 10 and 5 being compared, since these are both negatives, we are now on the opposite side of the number line from 0. So since negative 5 is closer to 0 than negative 10 is, and since negative 10 is to the left, it is a smaller value. So negative 10 is less than negative 5. Again, at the end of my videos, I like to show you a journey of my puppy Callie as she's gone from a pup to a full-grown doggy. But this was when she had her first favorite treat of a carrot, and she still loves carrots to this day, and her cute little piggy is still with her now. She loves it. It was one of her favorite toys. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.